key thing to understand is compost happens when you combine materials that's rich in nitrogen, like chicken poop, and material that's rich in carbon, like dried leaves and coconuts. Why does it happen when we combine those in the right order? Because when we get a 30-to-1 ratio of carbon to nitrogen, that's the ideal environment for microbes to proliferate. And guess who loves eating microbes? Chickens. So even though we are giving them food, we're breeding a lot of insects by just piling up organic material like this. Now, one of the main, most important things that we grow on this farm, believe it or not, as well as all of the fruit trees, is bamboo. And then we have these food forests here, where we have all these amazing edible flowers, root crops like taro root, bananas, tree tomatoes, mulberries, all combined in a really ecological arrangement. We then also graze these chickens, and then along the edges of here we have all this great big tall bamboo which we're able to cut back constantly. So the people who sell coconuts and bring them up from the coast, we pay them a little bit of money to dump their coconuts here instead of just throwing them out on the side of the road. That means we have a massive supply of carbon all the time. The floor of this house is literally a compost pile. It goes down here about 1 meter in depth, and we're just always putting in dry material. Now don't forget, if you want to learn more about this process, we have a whole free course on composting on our website. As well as the chickens going out fertilizing our fruit trees and keeping everything in the understory cut down, which saves us a huge amount of work, we're also cutting down massively on their food bill because there's so many bugs right here for them. Right now this door here is open, which means they have access to this fenced in section. And when we think that that's gotten a little too much action and it needs to recover, we'll open this door and we'll let them out here. Piles and piles and piles of decaying organic material. In a sense, this is what they mean by carbon farming. The more biomass we can produce on the edge of our system, and the more biomass we can bring in, as this material decays, we not only get a lot of compost for our gardens, we also get a lot of bugs for our chickens. Number one thing people don't understand is that this is food. This is where it all starts. The plants that produce biomass that people don't think of as edible, they're the ones that fuel your farm. So what we found is the more of this stuff we can grow and the more coconuts and sawdust we can bring in, means we can make piles like this. And that means that even though this area isn't massive, because we're farming vertically, i.e. piling up organic matter, that means the amount of bugs we have per square meter of yards for our chicken is way higher than what people have on regular farms. So it means we're able to keep more chickens in less area. It means we're able to keep them happier, healthier, and it means because they're getting so much protein from these breaking down piles of compost, our input is lower. So we're able to produce higher quality product for less input. People think that bamboo is just a construction material, so this bamboo, we're growing it for leaves. Some of this stuff we use as posts to do our fencing, but a lot of it really we just let it break down. So what we'll do with all these piles that we have around the food forest and in the floor of the house is we really just come along with a sifter and we let the broken down stuff pass through it. And these piles are not just what feed our chickens, they're also what fuel our gardens. Don't forget, we go into this in detail in our free composting course. We compost in the chicken houses by sprinkling this inoculated biochar around the place. I'm just making sure that the floor of this house is teeming with beneficial bacteria. That's also really good for the chickens to eat, and we can put some of this in with their feed as well. And this will speed up how quickly this compost breaks down.